Hey guys, let's answer question number one. Identify the slope and y-intercept of the equation y equals negative 2x plus 5, then graph the equation. So when we're talking about graphing, we always talk about y equals mx plus b, right? This is called slope-intercept form. And m stands for the slope, right? And b stands for the y-intercept. So anytime we're talking about y equals mxb, m stands for the slope. Remember the change in the y over the change in x, and b stands for the y-intercept. So our slope in this problem is negative 2, and remember to make that a fraction, we can always just add a 1 underneath it, right? So negative 2 over 1, the change in the y over the change in the x. And the y-intercept in this problem is positive 5. So we're going to use those two things to graph now. Ready? So we're going to start at the y-intercept. That's where our line is going to cross the y-axis. So I'm labeling the x and the y-axis here. So it's going to cross at positive 5 on the y-line, on the y-axis. So I'm going to put my first dot at positive 5. So you can always start by putting your first dot on that y-intercept. Okay, so positive 5 on the y. And the slope's telling me that it's going down 2. The change in y is negative 2, and the change in x is positive 1. So that means that it's going down 2 on the y, and it's going positive 1 on the x, right? Down 2 over 1. And I can keep following that pattern. Down 2 over 1. Down 2 spaces over 1. It's going to do that until we run out of room, right? Down 2. Actually, the line goes on forever, but I'm going to make the dots until I run out of room. So you see how it follows? It's like steps, right? It's following that same pattern going down here. Now, once you run out of room, you can go back to where you started, to the y-intercept, and you can do the opposite. Instead of going down 2, I'm going to go up 2. Instead of going right 1, I'm going to go left 1. And I can only get 1 extra dot on this line. If I did it again, I'd be off, right? So now that I have that, I can go ahead and make a line here. So this would be a straight line. I didn't draw it super straight, but pretend that that's perfectly straight. If we know straight lines are called, it's linear, right? If it wasn't straight, we'd call it nonlinear. So this is linear. This question didn't ask for it, but we're just gonna further on this worksheet, they're gonna ask you that. So this line would be linear. It's a straight line, and it's going from left to we read graphs from left to right. So from left to right, this line is going down, right? So this would be a negative slope, a negative slope. And we knew it was going to be negative because in our equation, negative 2 was the slope, right? Well, negative 2 is a negative number. All right, I hope that helps.